7-year NFL quarterback who's wearing a bandana
Red
today.
bandana, Boston College.
Red bandana.
Yeah, you don't know about the red bandana?
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
Explain that. Explain that.
Yeah, he's just Wells. He's the guy who went up and down the stairwells at 9/11 during when the towers were on fire. Boston College lacrosse player went up and down the stairwells, saving people's lives. Okay, I wear the red bandana with pride about Boston College because the kid from BC, the lacrosse player, he was the biggest hero during 9/11 when the towers were attacked. And I was doing a show earlier with my old teammate from Boston College, Tom McManus. So I put on a red bandana, and anyone who knows, I'm not going to explain it to you, but if you have the time and the effort and you want to know anything about someone who's got pride, you want to know about humanity, and someone who understood what it means to save other people, look up the red bandana, Boston College red bandana. I wear the red bandana. I don't need to explain it. Go look it up.
As we get closer to the draft, and I'm putting this all on your shoulders, he was your middle linebacker. We got to get McManus on there to talk a little Jacksonville Jaguar football, being the former middle linebacker that he was. And obviously, I'm sure he's keyed into what's going on down there. So as we get closer to the draft, we'll get McManus on, correct?
Yeah, no doubt. And he absolutely tuned in. And he's a opponent of some of the things that are going on with
Hold on. We just got a word. I just got someone from Twitter chiming in.
What?
I don't know. Can you see on the screen?
No.
John Marks. All he puts is D's.
D's. Marksy, Deets nuts. I'm claiming trademark infringement. Deets nuts stole our infringement. We were talking about D's nuts in 2008, and now Deets nuts are stealing our shit. Fuck them, Marksy. We own Deets nuts. I was streaming D's. You actually were cropping this shit. D's. We were talking about D's nuts before Deets nuts knew what the hell they were doing. I agree with you, Marksy.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Marks, he's the best. He's the best. Listen to him on 610. I love listening to him.
No,
listen for years.
The old YSP.
Oh, yeah, 94.1, 94.1. My bad. I'm so thinking WIP 610. I can't get it out of my mind. 94.1.
Yeah, but we go back to YSP. Marksy doesn't know 94 YSP. But we grew up to Van Halen on YSP. Now it's IP and 610, and they swapped AM and FM and all that other stuff. So we grew up, fuck all the other stuff. We knew 94.1 as WYSP, and we would listen to Van Halen and the Rolling Stones and Twisted Sister in the 80s. Come on.
Oh, by the way, I got D. Snyder actually liked one of my tweets the other day.
D. Snyder, he's, you know why? Because you're a Jew, and so is he. And the Jews unite. D. Snyder's a Jew, a Long Island Jew. For tremendous talent, D. Snyder.
For you fans of Cobra Kai, just watch it and D. Snyder. Hey, well, let's get into some.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the fucking pressing. Is D. Snyder on Cobra Kai?
Just watch. Just watch?
No. Hold on a second.
Just watch.
Talking about, no, stop. Shut your mouth. I want to know. Wait a minute. Cobra Kai. I'm behind this. I'm behind the curve. Is it good?
It's tremendous.
Is Danny on it? Hold on a second. Is D. Snyder on Cobra Kai?
Just watch season.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a yes.
All right, let's get into some football. No one cares about what we think about Cobra.
I do. Forget it. We'll go football. Is D. Snyder on Cobra Kai?
Yes.
Holy shit.
He makes a cameo. He makes a cameo.
My God. I'm
all right, the first game on Saturday is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Josh Allen, who taken the league by storm this year, has he's been tremendous this year, and the Bills, and they're going to let some fans in I call it Rich Stadium in Buffalo Stadium up there. 6.5. The Buffalo Bills. That you're trying to win some people some money. Actually, you guaranteed winning people money this year. This week.
I love teasing in the NFL because every game's a close game. So you never tease a game outside the NFL, but when you're in the NFL, always looking for the tease. 6.5 points against the Colts is a lot of points. We're talking about a marathon of points. I love the Bills. I love Josh Allen. I love what they're doing. I love everything about it. I love McDermott. I love the whole thing. Everything's great. A lot of points. I'm taking the Colts with the points.
Well, I know why you're doing it. We discussed it on the last show. Your mentor in this game is a guy named Frank Reich, who just happens to roam the sidelines in the Indianapolis Colts. Does that have anything to do with that pick?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely does, because I know on offense, he understands controlling the ball. He understands time of possession. He understands not turning it over. How do you win 11 games when you have a 40-year-old quarterback?
He can still play a little bit, Rivers.
Yeah, but you know, it's because you know what you're doing. Forget about the quarterback. Forget about the coach has to know what he's doing to win with as much as I don't like Bruce Arians and Tom Brady's the GOAT, Bruce Arians deserves a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of credit for getting Tom Brady on pace with what he's doing and getting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs. Frank Reich's the same way. Frank Reich's a grinder. Doesn't have all the tools yet, but he understands the critical tools. He understands offense. He understands guard, center, quarterback. He understands wide receiver, running the ball. Taylor's going crazy right now. The rookie from Wisconsin, Jonathan Taylor, he's going nuts right now at the tail end of his rookie
career. He's been tremendous. The rookie from Wisconsin.
Awesome. And it's not a mistake. Hines is on that team.
Good third down back, Naheem Hines.
Yeah. So, but Frank Reich, when you talk about chemistry and incorporating all the parts of the puzzle and making it fit right, it was why the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And when you see the Eagles and how they're just, it's a mess. It's like a puzzle you can't put together. It's all there's jagged edges everywhere.
I actually think you mentioned 40-year-old quarterback in Phillip Rivers. That actually might be playing into his favor. First of all, he's a statue to begin with, so it's not like his athletic ability, not like he's a guy who can't run, he can never run, but he's a very experienced quarterback, played in a ton of playoff games. Never got the Chargers over the hump. Not saying that he's get the Colts over the hump, but the fact that he's as veteran a quarterback as there is, with Breeze and Brady, they're kind of like the three old warriors in this playoffs, may serve them well as they go on the road to take on the Bills on Saturday.
Yeah, and when the X factor being the defense.
Yes,
Frank,
defense is tremendous.
When you look at some of the draft, you look at the draft picks. Frank, one of his early draft picks, which I thought was one of his great picks, was Rock Ya-Sin, the guy out of Temple. Yeah, Temple's corner. The dude, he's a stone cold killer. Tackles, covers, understands, smart. So all of a sudden you got stability in the secondary. Okay?
Hold on, I smell another correlation here. Did Rock Ya-Sin play under Ed Foley at Temple University?
Oh, yes, he did. Yeah, and you also look throughout the league. And I hate to even blow my brother's horn, but here's the thing: if you go, let's do it for a second. Temple folded the minute my brother left. There was Golden, there was Rule, there was Adazio, all the common denominators. Okay. Guess what?
Your brother was a coach under all of them.
They all won, okay? Guess who was the assistant head coach to all of those guys? My brother, Ed Foley. Okay, my brother Ed created a system which if you went to Temple during the summer and saw what they were doing at camps and saw the kids they were bringing in, it was the most unbelievable, insanely incredible thing you've ever seen. You had hundreds and hundreds of kids flowing into Temple on the weekends during the summer so that these guys could see them. Temple picked, and they did unbelievable. You get one, Kerry comes in, doesn't know anything about Temple or Philadelphia, shits the bed. The whole team is in the portal. They're leaving. Yeah. So Temple's now back to ground zero. They don't have anybody. This coach is out the door. He's horrible, and all the players are leaving. The ground, all the coaches that were successful, all those great coaches that everyone thinks that were great. Oh, where's Al Golden now? Where's Steve Adazio now? Okay, where are those guys? You know what? Why were they successful? Because Ed Foley was there.
There you go.
Ed Jr. was there.
Before we put the Colts and Bills to bed, guy's a big fan of yours. He's always asking when we're going to be doing our next live streams. And Benoit 15. Do you anticipate a high-scoring game between the Bills and Colts?
No. What you're going to get is your stone cold solid. These teams in the playoffs. The teams that make the playoffs are the teams that understand defense. If you don't, you're not in the playoffs in the NFL because you're just outscoring everybody. Sure, you got to have good offense, but you're in the playoffs because your defense is well orchestrated. So, when you watch the Colts, when they win the games, it's 24-23, it's 18-12, it's 20. It's not 42-40. The Colts know how to play defense. They understand down and distance. They understand situations, which my dad in Little League was always huge with situations. Understand where you are in the game. Understand the situation that you're in. It's okay. They give them a 20-yard pass if it's 3rd and 40. Okay? So understand where you are. The Colts do that. That's why everyone's saying, who do you want to bet? You want action? Just bet the Colts. Bet the Colts every single week. You're going to lose some, but you're going to win more than half. That's all you're looking for in betting. So because the Colts get it. I know Frank. Frank understands all aspects, special teams, offense. He's going to outsmart you every time. Questionable is, are they going to get outscored? So that's it. It could get 40-30. They could lose 4. But Frank's going to find a way to score on offense. So when you're betting the Colts, you're usually going to bet. You want to tease the over because Frank's going to score. Just don't know how his defense is going to do.
Game 2, the Seattle Seahawks laying 3 to the Rams. I love the thing. You get all the updates on your phone as they happen. Jared Goff questionable for Saturday. Yep. They just activated their big all-time great left tackle Andrew Whitworth, who's been in the league 100 years. Looks like he's going to play on Saturday. Seahawks -3 in Seattle. Glenn, yeah, it seems like what do you have? You got kind of connections to everything. Played a year in Seattle, laying 3 versus the Rams.
Oh my goodness, this reeks of like a 38-10 game, Seattle.
Wow.
So I already get it. My youngest kid is in Las Vegas because I bet him. I put him on the wire for 48,000. My child's worth 48,000 according to Vegas, so I put him out there. So fuck it. You know what? There's no way Seattle's not covering this and not. They got the two of the best players, not just offense and defense. Jamal Adams, he's gonna have 2 or 3 sacks in the game.
I don't even think Adams is the best defensive player in the.
No, but you can't bet against Russell Wilson. And
you can't.
You gotta as long as it's within a field goal, you're gonna get a push. You're gonna get a minimum.
The one game I like this weekend is the Los Angeles Rams taking 3 from the Seattle Seahawks. They have a higher ranked offense. They have a higher ranked defense. They're getting points. Goff just can't lose the game for him.
Mott's ahead. Let me tell you something. Goff got a. Did you see his finger?
This the guy calling me Mott's ahead. Look at him.
His finger looked like this. All it needed was a little peanut butter and jelly on that matzah, and it would have looked great. I love matzah, but Goff's got a busted finger, and I'm just telling you, I am telling you, I have the Bills. You can argue the Chiefs or the Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl. One of them.
I agree.
But the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, we'll discuss that later. You're on record, Seahawks -3. Let's go to another 68-year-old quarterback. Tom Brady laying 8 at Washington against the football team. Obviously, for as much praise as Alex Smith, and deservedly he's received in the past, several weeks, obviously for coming back from that beyond catastrophic beyond
So
catastrophic injury. I've seen most about all their games, and he doesn't throw the ball more than like 6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem that the Buccaneers are going to run into. And I said this last week. Tom Brady's going to get his head smashed into pieces. So how do you manage the fact that you know your quarterback is going to get crushed? Tom Brady's not going to sprint out. He's not drifting away like Russ. He's not drifting away like Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to sprint out like Carson Wentz. Tom Brady's stuck in the pocket. He can't move. He's slow-footed. Okay. Chase Young is a certified lunatic. Okay. He's going to kill Tom Brady. Okay. Chase Young is going to kill Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady's a tough dude. So you're going to get a full-blown heavyweight brawl of Chase Young, thunder skull shots to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady sitting there taking them and then delivering. So there's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be a low-scoring game. I'm talking like 20-10. Tom Brady's going to get completely pummeled because he can't move. Chase Young is one of the most unbelievable lunatics that's ever.
But what's going to happen in the end is Brady's going to win out in the end.
Brady will win. I think Brady wins because the Redskins won't be able to score, but you will see Tom Brady hurt in this game because the Redskins can absolutely bring the heat.
Okay.
And Chase Young doesn't care that Tom Brady is Tom Brady or the GOAT. When Chase Young is on the football field, look out. Just be careful. Make sure you're double teaming them, chuck them, chip them, do everything you can. Do not let Sweat beat you. Don't let Chase Young beat you. I think they're smart to understand that. Doesn't mean the lunatic's not going to get home. Chase Young will beat up Tom Brady. I like the Buccaneers to win the game, but everyone thinks that Tom Brady's going to go in there and just blow out the Redskins. It's not going to happen. I promise you, this will be a grind. 2010 Buccaneers. Do they cover? Barely, if they do at all.
Couple questions from boxing manager Michael Cameron. Said football's over. He's a big Knicks fan. He said the Knicks are on a roll. You know why the Knicks are on a roll, Glenn? Because the guy running the team was from our high school.
That's a bull.
Leon Rose from Cheryl East High School.
Yeah, he understands defense and conditioning because he played for John Valori.
There you go. And Michael also likes Seattle. Says there's a lot. Question from Twitter, from Bob Math. Who is Glenn Foley? Played 7 years in the NFL, Bob. I mean, I don't know.
I love that question. Yeah, I see the red.
I don't know who this is.
It means how you doing? It's nice to meet you. I'll come and see me someday. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Played 7 years in the league. So I mean, if you're
football,
you know what? He probably watched you from the comfort of his couch.
Yeah, if you got me in my prime, you little bitch, I would have fucked you up.
Okay. All right, game 3 here. Actually, the game 4, the first game on Sunday, the Ravens in the revenge game, 3.5 at the Titans. The Titans beat them in the playoffs last year. Kind of set the blueprint on how to handle Lamar Jackson, but the Ravens might be the hottest team in the league. They've been on fire the last 5-6 weeks. They got their running game rocking and rolling. The defense is kind of tightening up a little bit. They were the best team in the regular season last year. They were good for most of the year. Hit a little rough patch in the middle. 3.5-point favorites on the road. Well, I don't know about that, Glenn.
No, I don't know about that either. And what you got to remember Vrabel is a product of Belichick. So what they're going to do is they're going to have double spies on Lamar. So Lamar won't be a factor. So what they're going to make Lamar do is throw the ball. The key to the game is Marquise.
The same thing they did last year. Keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, keep him in the pocket and make him run the ball. So what they're going to do is, and Vrabel's IQ is way, way, way high. So it's not going to be like, oh, Lamar ran for 125 yards. Lamar is not going to run for 125 yards. If Lamar gets 50, then the Ravens will win. Lamar's got to get 50 yards rushing and throw for 200 yards passing. If he can do that, they'll win the game. They're a better team. Lamar's dynamic. Lamar is one of the most dynamic athletes to ever play the position ever to play any sport. So, like, he can throw it, he can run, and he can win. Problem with Lamar comes when you get 44 degrees, rain, and grass. And Lamar can't function because you can't run the ball, you can't throw the ball, and you need someone that can grip the ball and deliver it from the pocket and throw BBs 20, 30, 40 yards downfield when everything is shit, when there's weather's bad, but someone can deliver. Lamar can't do that because, number one, his mechanics are awful. But if he's inside or the weather's good, Lamar Jackson is tough to beat. So if the weather's good and everything's golden in terms of the weather, and Lamar Jackson will win the Super Bowl at some point. It's just a matter of finding the right conditions. If the conditions are proper, he'll win it. If not, I'm going to take Ben Roethlisberger in a cold, windy, shitty day, any day of the week, over Lamar Jackson. Ben can play.
Well, we'll get to Ben
rain,
in a few minutes.
Cold, in the snow, in the dirt, in the mud. Lamar can't. That's the bottom line. If Lamar is best inside, if he has to play at Cleveland or at Pittsburgh, Lamar's in trouble. So if Lamar is if Baltimore had a brain in their head when they got Lamar Jackson, they would have domed their stadium immediately and never had to worry about the weather. But that's not the case. So when the weather gets bad, if your mechanics are shit, like Lamar's are, his lower body mechanics are awful. Like he's like Carson Wentz in the weather. It's hard to win when you can't throw the ball when the weather gets bad. So that's what the Ravens have to worry about. If the weather's okay, yeah, the Ravens are fine. The Ravens can win the Super Bowl. But if the weather turns to rain, cold wind, snow, Lamar's fucked. So, yeah, they're going to be fine as long as the weather's okay. But if the weather goes bad, Lamar's in trouble. I'm taking Ben. I'm taking the Steelers all day long, every day, because they can deal with the weather.
Next game, the Saints, who opened up as an 8-point favorite, now 10-point favorite against the Chicago Bears.
Strange game. Here's the thing.
The Saints are going to beat those daylights out of them.
When you're starting to give more than 3 points in the playoffs, you start, boom, they start to question. Mention whether they do Trubisky, Foles, or Foles, Trubisky.
No, it's going to be Trubisky, and more
here's
Trubisky.
The thing. They force these young quarterbacks to play earlier than they need to play. So the minute he's deep into his career now, but he's starting to mature as a quarterback. He may be the guy. So I'm not carrying out the Bears with that many points. I'm going to take the Bears. Is Mac healthy?
What's that?
I
believe he is.
If Mac is healthy, I'm taking the Bears with that many points. You can't give that many points in a playoff game. There's a reason these teams are in the playoffs. It's not by mistake, except for maybe the Giants the Redskins this year. But the Redskins, the reason they're in the playoffs because their defense is really good. So you don't just go into the playoffs thinking, and they say, and it's cliche, you can throw the records away. Yeah. Watch Tom Brady get his ass kicked against the Redskins because Chase Young has got an axe to grind.
All right. Well, I just read Alvin Kamara's getting the game plan in from watching Zoom meetings. So we'll just go to the last game really quick. The Steelers laying 6 at the Browns.
I'm taking the Steelers. I don't like the Browns. The Browns have COVID issues. They don't even know if their facility's going to be open.
They don't even have a head coach.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're in disarray, and there's always been a lack of discipline. In Cleveland, there should be no lack of discipline. I understand COVID running wild where there's international airports and commerce, and there's subways in Philadelphia and New York and L.A. I understand that. If you're in Cleveland or if you're in Green Bay or New England, you shouldn't be having COVID issues if you have discipline within the team. So the fact that Cleveland's having COVID issues worries the hell out of me. So I'm going to dump Cleveland. As many points as they're getting, I'm dumping them, and I'm taking the steal. And I'm taking almost want to say as much as the Seahawks are a lock, Steelers are as much of a lock because the Cleveland Browns don't understand maturity.
Let me ask you a question though. You have Stefanski who calls the plays, and he's not calling the plays on Sunday. So whoever's calling the plays probably will have a little bit different of a tendency than Stefanski. 'Cause, I mean, you're scheming for the tendencies, correct?
Yeah.
So whoever's calling.
Yeah. Well, let me just give you a little reference point. We played Jackson, 98. We went to the AFC Championship game. We were playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, in the first round of the playoffs. On Wednesday, Parcells threw the play sheet down, and he told all the coaches to leave the field because we weren't ready to practice as players. Okay? As players, I took the sheet, I picked it up, and we had the best practice we had all year. But Parcells was smart because he understood that we were mature enough to understand how important the situation was. We just needed to. He called all the coaches off the field on a Wednesday practice in the middle of a playoff run, and as players, we had to pick up the sheets. We had to go through practice without the coaches, which for players was heaven on earth. For someone like me, who I always thought I was smarter than Charlie Weiss and Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, we had the greatest practice we ever had. We had fun. We didn't have to worry about asshole yelling at us. I didn't have to worry about Belichick's smart-ass remarks. I didn't have to worry about Mangini and his dumbass fucking shit that he was talking about. I had every coach, Charlie Weiss, Bill Parsons, everybody screaming and yelling all the time. Belichick screaming me for not throwing the right players as the backup quarterback. And I'm sitting there, I was the captain, and I go, the coaches left the field, and I finally said, you know what? Hey, guys, finally, fuck them. Fuck Parcells, fuck Belichick, fuck Mangini, fuck them all. This is our fucking game. These guys, and Parcells knew what we were doing. And we did it, and we won 56-7. It was a rout. We demolished the Jaguars because Parcells understood we had maturity and leadership on the team.
I will say you were smarter than Charlie Weiss the Kansas years. He was 6-22, so you were probably
no.
smarter.
But what we did was, and even to this day, the offense that Tom Brady ran in New England for all those years, we morphed it into perfection. I mean, I was part of it. Charlie Weiss was part of it. You know, it was Vinny, it was Charlie, it was me. It was all part of Ron Earhart's system that won the Super Bowl back in the 80s. And what happens is when you get these new rules and you get shotgun and you get different rules and you get the protection of the quarterbacks, you adjust, you morph. And before you know it, Ron Earhart's system that won the Super Bowl with the Giants in '86 is now what Tom Brady's running throughout his career, but it's also morphing into 3 wides, 4 wides, and wides.
It's like Josh McDaniel's like kind of take on it.
Right. And then McDaniel throws his wrinkle into it with all this RPO stuff and the read pass option and the ability. The rules have changed. You know, when you talk about RPO, people don't realize when you say RPO, when an offensive guard fires out and attacks a linebacker, that's a running play. Now the quarterbacks are pulling it and throwing the ball. It's really illegal, but they're letting it happen for some reason. So the RPO guys are the ones that are they're the hot items.
You would love playing in this year where it's basically 2-hand touch on the quarterback.
I'll tell you what, I would still be playing if the rules were the same. They used to tee off. It was like putting a tee on it. It was like going to the golf farm. Like I was the ball, and you could just tee it up and smash me with a driver as hard as you want every time, without repercussion. There was no fines. There was no. I got Peter Boulware threw me 13 yards one play and didn't get fined.
That's unbelievable. Well, it's good to talk a little sports today after the day we had yesterday in this country. Not too far from where you reside in D.C. And I think you may have a word or a take on what went down at the Capitol yesterday, Glenn.
Yeah, the country's in disarray. When we talked about it, we can go back to the when you asked me about the virus. I had ice cream. Wuhan. The Chinese let theirs out. Trump taxed the Chinese billions, and the Chinese let the virus go. The virus. It's not this virus didn't just magically appear. It was dropped on us. This is biological warfare. The problem is, it's not even Democrat Republican anymore. Our system's been compromised. Like there's no more republic. There's no more United States of America. We're just this massive people that are fighting amongst each other, which sucks. And Joe Biden has Alzheimer's, and he's our president, and no one cares. So I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. All I know is the guy that we voted in as president, if the teleprompter goes out, he can't fucking do anything. So give the presidency to Kamala Harris. I'm not Republican. I'm Democrat. I just need someone who doesn't have fucking Alzheimer's to be our president. If Joe Biden's teleprompter goes blank, the motherfucker can't do shit. And that's just my opinion.
There you have it. And, I should put one of these disclaimers on the opinions and views of one
I'm going to be
Foley.
locked the fuck up, and I'm going to disappear like in China when they poison people, and in Russia, the Navalny or whatever the fuck guys, they poisoned the guy because he had an opinion that meant, and he made sense. I'm making sense. Listen to me. I really don't care who the president is. I really don't care. All I know is Google, Apple, all the shit that we're watching, and people are being brainwashed. And it's not that hard to understand. Like A plus B equals C, or 1 + 1 = 2. However you want to mentally do it. We've been had. The republic, as we know it, for which it stands, is fucking gone. And we're gonna deal with the one. They're gonna eliminate the Republican Party, which is so stupid. But you need dueling parties. The way the system was set up was perfect. Trump, the disruptor. Not necessarily. I don't like the guy, but he made sense for the system because Hillary was supposed to win. And now the whole fucking system's screwed up, and we're all victims of the circumstances. So we can just sit back. It doesn't matter what the fuck happens now. We're all fucked.
Let's get back to football
We're
for
totally
a second,
fucked.
because we have a question from Michael Cameron. As a former quarterback, have you ever seen anything like Patrick Mahomes?
No. And the thing with Patrick Mahomes is just so dynamic, as he's not 6'8". He's not running 4.1. He's not Lamar. He's doing it with wit. He's doing it with intelligence. He's doing it with super insane athletic ability. If you look what's going on with the quarterbacks these days, they're the middle infielders. You know, Kyler Murray is Ozzie Smith. If you imagine
he was a number 8 player picked in the draft.
Ozzie Smith in the shotgun. If you give Ozzie Smith the shotgun and put him at quarterback, what will he do? I don't know, but he's going to do something ridiculously insane. So that's what Kyler Murray is. And Kyler can throw it. Ozzie could throw it. Doug Flutie could throw it. The way of the world is the guy needs to be able to run. He needs to be elusive. He needs to be able to throw the ball. So the middle infielders, the shortstops, and the second basemen of the world are now your quarterbacks in the NFL.
So let me interrupt you. So the Bradys, the Rivers, when they're gone, when those guys are gone, that's the last of the Mohicans, in your
No,
opinion.
no, 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 no. Only because the most important part of playing quarterback in the NFL is the ability to distribute the ball accurately from the pocket under duress. So you can be able to run around all you want. You can be Mahomes. You can be Lamar.
Josh
You can
Allen
be
is a.
Clooney. You can be all these guys you run around. But if you can't deliver the ball from the pocket, because they're going to contain you. Defenses are smart. We always say they pay the defense too. So they're gonna eliminate what you do best to the best of their ability. So if you're Lamar Jackson and you're playing against whoever, they're going to stop you from running and they're going to make you throw the ball from the pocket. And if you can't throw the ball from the pocket,
We just lost your volume for a second, Glenn.
if you can deliver the ball from the pocket
There he is.
with quickness and accuracy, Joe Montana, myself, getting rid of the ball in 1 second or 2 seconds, there's no way the defense can get to you. So if you can deliver the ball accurately from the pocket quickly, there's no defense for that. There is a defense for somebody who can run the ball around the corner or there's speed everywhere in the NFL. What there isn't is a quarterback who can catch the ball and get rid of it and understand where to go, how to go with it, and when to go with it, and do it immediately. And that's why is Tom Brady and Peyton Manning the most slow-footed individuals on the planet? Why are they so successful at that position?
Because they can distribute
Because they
the
understand how to get rid of the football and how to get rid of it now. And the rules now, they're not allowed to hit the guy if he throws it. So you go in the shotgun, get the guy who knows how to deliver it, and you win. That's why when I was screaming last about Justin Herbert. You put Justin Herbert in the shotgun, he has such a quick delivery, and he can flick the ball 40 yards on a line, even if it's a 15-yard out route across the field. He can get rid of it so quick, and they're not allowed to hit him. If they hit him, it's a 15-yard penalty. So that's where the quarterbacking has gone. You need someone. You don't need Lamar Jackson. You don't need someone who can run. You need someone who can catch, process, and deliver. If he can run, it's a bonus. It's great. But I would rather have Justin Herbert than Lamar Jackson because he can catch and shoot, and they're not allowed to hit him anymore. Where Lamar Jackson, he's a target because now they're saying, listen, he can run, so we're allowed to hit him. Whereas Herbert is like, I'm not running anywhere, but I'm delivering it. So I like Herbert over all the quarterbacks anywhere on the planet.
Even Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I do. I like Herbert over Lawrence.
Okay,
You know why?
well,
Herbert's
why?
arm is 10 times better than Lawrence. Lawrence has more IQ, but I'm starting to think
Well, actually, I don't
Herbert.
even know about that. I don't know if you know the story about Herbert. He was like a 4.0, studied
No.
like crazy biochemistries. He's a real.
Herbert, and I said Herbert has way more upside than Lawrence.
Okay.
Way more upside than Lawrence. Right now, I would rather have Trevor Lawrence. He's more polished. He's more. But in 3 years, if someone said, "Listen to me, I'm going to give you $100 million. Who do you want? You want Lawrence or do you want Herbert?" I'm taking Herbert.
Okay. We'll
Taking Herbert.
time remains to be seen. We'll talk a lot more about the draft as we get to April. Talk more about the NFL. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow to maybe go into some more X's and O's on these games that are coming up this weekend. We're going to be doing a lot of this stuff. We got a big national championship game on Monday that we'll take a dive into.
Who's playing in that game?
Nick Saban and Ryan Day. That'd be Ohio State and Alabama.
Just
Save it.
All right.
I'm going to wait till Monday because, obviously if we give everything away now, who's going to tune in on Monday?
Oh, all right. Okay, but I got action. We got action. We got to do action.
There we go. We're trying to win you some money from a guy who's been in the huddles, taking the hits, taking the 15-yard penalties himself. Glenn Foley.
Yeah, you know why? I took a 15-yarder playing against Temple. You know why? I told him to go back to that fucking scum shit city about fucking go back. We were beating 54-7, and they were talking shit.
He gets in a fight with Temple. He started a brawl with Penn State. I mean, and then what did you do? You ran behind your offensive lineman, your defensive tackle. Is that what happened?
I kicked the guy from Penn State in his head because he spit on me.
Do we want to mention his name?
Oh, D'Onofrio.
And did he? Hold on, and again, another connection. Didn't he work with Ed Foley at Temple University?
Yeah, when I saw him, I was kicked this. I almost fucking fought him again because I was so pissed. And the funny thing was, the next year we're playing at Penn State. We actually beat him at Penn State. He goes, "Yo, man," he goes, "What are you doing? You can't tell." I go, well, "You fucking spit on me, dude. What are you gonna do? Say you didn't spit on me?" He's trying. He felt bad about it because
you're like the Kevin Bacon of football. I can get to within 3 degrees of anyone who's played in the NFL. I could probably trace it back to you or your brother.
Oh my God.
Like for instance, you said Marc D'Onofrio, who spit on you, yet became a coach with Ed Foley at Temple University.
Yeah,
so
and on top of it, but he was coaching with Paterno, and at that time, believe it or not, the guy who was molesting children, what was that guy's name? Sandusky. It goes Sandusky, and then I played in the pros with Belichick, Parcells, Holmgren. College was Tom Coughlin. Okay. It goes on and on. I'm like the Forrest fucking Gump of football.
Well, when you were running, you didn't. I mean, I don't know how fast you were running when they were saying run, Glenn, run. Well, now, based on what you look like, you're now the Tupac Shakur of podcasting with the bandana here.
I'm gonna save your ass in the fire, motherfucker.
Well, that's our show for today. It's deteriorated into this. We'll be back maybe tomorrow. Check your local listings on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever else we're going.
Off the air forever.
Now, thank God the FCC isn't in this.
In my opinion, that's a great fucking show.
It is a great show.
Great fucking show.
We got 2 words. See ya. We out.